Welcome back to the channel. Char Heart, I am Char. I'm trying to set this up so I can trace this illustration I did onto another piece of paper and color it. Okay. I'm using a 2B There we go. And when you do that, you set it like this. And trace it. And it will trace onto the other piece of paper. Now, I normally have a carbon sheet so I can trace, but it leaves lines that won't erase very well. So I decided to try it this way. And tracing over it with a pencil so I could erase it and not have it stuck on my permanent copy of the swatch sheet, because I'm doing summer pictures for my 2025 pictures drawings.
We can fill in the walls. Installation is halfway up.
It's really invisible, but it's there. I had to press on it so that you guys could see it, and so I could see it. Alright, I'm gonna pause it, come back to it after I fill in the lines. Dang it. I had a phone call. I forgot to unpause it. So this is what I got here. And now I'm going to pick out my colors. This is supposed to be June challenge summer pictures. We're supposed to have summer pictures all summer, but then you have different colors for each month. I'm going to pause it and figure out which media I want to use. I want to use markers or gel pens. So now that I have this transferred here, erase the back of this. You guys don't need to see me do all that. Alright. There. So you got my DIY eraser case holder. Need to get me a brush to do all that brushing like everybody else does. Brush off my artwork. Put this over there. And so, I do know I'm going to use some of my Artex markers for some of the foreground. And I'm going to use alcohol markers for some of the background. That way, so anything that needs to be see-through can be see-through with the alcohol marker, like the water. And some of the grass doesn't need to be, you know, super concentrated color, because it's just background. The last day of June. It's pink, there's aqua, there's a yellow, orange, and green. I have all those colors in that marker. I do not have an orange in my Artex colors. I have a red and I have a bunch of pinks and some yellows. So, use those. And the good thing, I expect the marker to be most of the background. So I am going to trace it and get this tracing started, because I'm going to do it like coloring book style. So for the hair, I'm going to trace with a different color, maybe a marker. Because she said the skin color can be the skin color and the hair color can be the hair color. But all the rest of it needs to be the colors that you, for that month. Okay, let's start with the hair. Get that part out of the way. I wanted this to be kind of see-through so I could layer the colors. And then trace the waves with the brown that's supposed to be in the hair. Mix a little bit of this with that yellow. That looks better. I'm going to leave that yellow for the sun, where the sun's touching. And then skin color. This is dark yellow for like tan. I'm going to have it like be her tan color. I do need to trace her body first. Pausing it. Show a little bit of tracing. Leaving these here light color so I could do a trace over with the brown. You can see her hands and what she's eating. Alright, back to coloring. I don't know how much of this I actually have to be able to record how much time I have left on here. So some of it's supposed to be brown and color between the brown lines, because she has brown and black hair. The other one has blondish, honey brownish hair. Now the overall brown with her hair. I'm gonna have both of their little swim shorts be pink, but with like different trim. One's gonna have yellow trim, and one's gonna have orange trim. Bow's gonna be the color of the trim. Oops, actually the color in that bow. Good thing for acrylic.
Hello. Hi.
But right here.
Oh, probably 90%. I got one at the cabin, and
Guess I have hers be orange and this one be yellow. The shoes will be, the bottom of the shoes is gonna be black. And she's barefooted.
You have to find out if he wants more furniture in his place.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he wants any more furniture at all. He's TV focused. Sit and watch, lay and sleep, sit and watch. He's I don't have no room and
Okay.
take care of it.
Let's see.
If they're gonna steal that room,
Still try to have a little difference in her sleeve
I still got that.
shirt.
You know the big grayish green.
And since I don't have a good orange,
This is the thermal. I just got it when the green house
bow will be orange.
come up in Missouri. I just got it.
I forgot this is alcohol marker. It doesn't stay where you put it. Put a little bit of trim on her shirt. A little bit of trim on her shorts. Video cut out. I thought I had more time, but I knew it was taking me a while. It has 21 minutes on it. So I had little girls done. I had to start it. I'm trying to use. Okay. So I cut out. So I got this much done. I want to do a little bit. I'm just doing background now. And then part 2, I will show you guys the detail done. The water's kind of see-through, so I'll go back over those bushes. But I'm also going to use a little bit of acrylic marker for the parts where the water's not as see-through. Because you know, where the light goes through the water, you can see through the water, but when we're in the shade, the water looks more solid. Okay. And then I gotta do, like, you know, this is not like, we'll call it Russian water, but it looks right to do a little bit of white fuzzy. But instead of doing that, I'll do like light color and darker blue. Okay. No. Just so you can see the droplets. There we go. Dot the dots. The little water droplets. There you go. Make sure you can see that the water is sprinkling across the grass and over her head. Trace these. Try to trace these.
It's practicing up, revving up, and see how we respond. You guys are there. I have to be in the foreground, fighting. But it's a very short time.
There we go. That way the water's not overdone. It looks more like water. I'm gonna get a couple of dots here. That way. There we go. That's cool. I like that effect. Alright. Stay tuned for part 2 later this week. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, the watermelon, I just want to point that out, that the watermelon's yellow because the red is not one of the colors, and there are yellow watermelons where I live. I might get one recorded if I can manage to get them before they're sold out, or if because they had a tornado, so Arkansas had some flooding and some tornado disasters, so we don't know if they're going to be able to actually have those watermelons during the watermelon fest like they usually do, or if they're destroyed. So if they do have them, I will show you guys the yellow watermelons. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. I am working on the next part of the story, the chapter, to continue, because you know I always have to do it to be continued. This is actually one of the scenes that's going to be later on in one of the other chapters. Bye bye.